Okay, everybody, hands on a deck, please. I was in the middle of having a great conversation, and little by little, of course, I saw the price trickling down. This is what's called jumping the broom in crypto, and why I often talk about these patterns. So let's warm up a little bit here and make sure that we are live on YouTube. Give it a couple moments. And let's see, I need to open up a window. You guys are hearing the, right. Okay, we're right there. We're good there. And presenting. And let me go ahead and make sure that we are on YouTube. So we'll just do a little bit of trades at 14,538. And let's make sure. So a little bit of, I made my, all I did in my description was say, get in here. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get the Nightbot going. This is not going to feel like any night. And I'm going to wait for Vivo to come in because tonight we're going to do something a little different. I hope that you will enjoy it. And let's make sure that I saw that the loading didn't work out very well right there. So let me get a few things going here in the Nightbot just so that it's doing its thing. And, you know, like I have every kind of RSS feed. I have so much available to me to have and heed these warnings, including the glorious, the not to be messed around with Ruby. And Ruby, what can I say? So we'll wait. We're going to give the warm-up about 10 minutes or so. So we've only been streaming for 2 minutes. And we will, let me go into the 1 minute. And need to keep that crypto company thing there, even though, okay. Go ahead and we'll go into a real tight chart here. 3 minute, I think, will be good. And so that you can see. And we really have to be very cognizant of the number of ledges. And I think what I'll do is I'll probably go on blank and open up my Cardwell. So so we're just going to be very calm and watch this happen and see. The biggest thing that happens when you work on patterns on cryptocurrency is something called jumping the broom. And I have seen this hundreds of times, where we get the apex or the end of a signal or a chant, you know, in this case, it's a pattern. Price moves, looks good. Everybody's thinking, oh, we have put the bottom in, there's no doubt. But I guess everyone probably pretty much knows that I have multiple layers down below. And, you know, these are numbers that are on my charts. I try and share my charts as often as I can so that you can see those numbers and be made aware of what the potential is of the move. So we're going to wait for a couple of minutes. I probably will go ahead and grab a glass of water because I'm not too sure how long we'll actually be here, and then I'll send out the share. And sorry for the brevity here with the get in here kind of thing. And okay, here we go there. That puts that out there over on Twitter. So the tweet went out. Sorry for all of the pounding on the keyboard. Let me go over to Twitter. It's pretty funny that I said that. Don't get in here. I didn't know what else to say. It was like, you know, one of the things, you know, that I have told you guys is that part of the reason that I come here is to make sure that when there's a move, that at least I can have some dialogue with you guys over that, you know, I just go ahead and hit the live button. So, but we are going to be a little bit on a wait, maybe another 5 minutes, and we'll wait for Vivo to come on in and put myself on mute. So I'll do the no audio for just a moment. All right. And okay, so I'm on mute for just a second, guys. Okay. All right, so back on mic, and let's see, where do we start? Because I don't, and this needs to be more of a natural, immediate. I can't kind of take you back. I will scroll the chart back so that you can get some sort of context as to why in the world would this sort of jumping the broom happen. And then, of course, the trade starts to fall apart. And that's what it is. And I will try and do my best. Of course, we're very zoomed into the 3-minute, the BTC USD Coinbase pair in a 3-minute time frame. So we'll go ahead and we'll go into the 1 hour. Don't be afraid by all of the markings. There's no reason to be afraid of. Once you have a good chart of your own, you too will have, several lines that can guide you. And that's all that Ruby is really a guide. We'll go into the 2 hour. And you'll notice that the Ruby, this is called the Ruby cross, where this little line is here, that establishes where the trade goes short based on the 841 cross. And the way that the indicator is built is that it shows you in color form when that cross happens. So there's all of this sort of thing that goes on, and all of these lines have meaning, and etc. And as the trade went short, of course, we started to stair step down. And then there were other lines, of course, that I have in my chart that establish break potentials. Sometimes these lines are created from way back when, throwback stuff. And we can begin to kind of build this narrative as it came through both what's called a complete retracement. So we knew that there was a lot of weakness in here. You'll notice that the cross over here on the left went long, then the cross went short, and then this complete retrace line runs through, dissects right here. And that lets me know that at this price point, we have gone through a complete retrace. And so we got hammered there, we got a little bit of buying come in, and then this incredible wick down, which allowed for us to begin to think that, well, if there's a wick down, it will either be a lower low or a higher low, which of course we got many hours later, but of course we got it here. So once you had that, of course, you were able to see when the breakdown started to happen. But even before that, there is a channel line that we drew that is what's called perfected, where one channel line is drawn and then it's cloned, and then we move the channel line up above here. So these two lines should be identical in their parallel. So when we go a little bit closer in, you'll notice that there's like this ping pong effect that goes in between the channel. And there are some rules about this, how it comes into the channel, goes up to the channel, comes down to the channel, and up and back again. But what happened right here, that's the area that we want to really look at, this area right where I'm trying to circle. So we'll go from the 2 hour to the 1 hour candle. And this is where we can see that, okay, so Beauty drew a triangle, and it's on a ray tool, so that's why it intersects up here. But basically, this is a triangle, right? So we have a higher low, a lower low, meeting up with a lower low and a higher low, and that made the triangle. The center of the triangle, or where it intersects, I call an apex, right here. And maybe I'll put a little bit of a tag in there so you guys can see it up close. And I'll just do a little slicey kind of thing here so you can see it when we go in. And that is called an apex. You can look it up on Google, just, triangle apex, and you'll see drawings and explanations, and not just on a chart pattern, but just general geometry. The apex of a triangle will be right there at the top. We'll go from the hour to the 30-minute. So notice how we take a condor's pass. We go high up in the sky, and then we just come back. We literally, one time frame at a time, we come down and down and down so that we can adjust a lot of our thinking, our thesis. We can slow our heart down a lot. You know, there's things that we can do to kind of have an idea. We'll go up a little bit, zoom in just a little bit. And so here's that higher low. We got that established, but it got tagged once and twice, and then the next candle was supported by the upper line. That got supported, and then of course we got this power move up. This is only an hour and a half, and everyone is hoop lining, but right on the apex, right here. And then as soon as the apex was done, the selling starts to come in. The part that's okay is when it came around, that's all right, we could have survived, but it needed to hold on to free market so that it could lift up. Was not meant to be. It literally, what I call, it jumped the broom. Came into apex, literally came up, flew right back through, and then of course the cataclysmic move to the downside, trading at 14,551.20 right now. So we'll go a little closer in to see, because everybody's like, but Beauty, when is it going to end? You know, like, oh my God, why is this happening? And all that kind of conversation starts to come in. So let me go over to where the YouTube video is. I think we're here. And thank you for watching. And so that I know that you're actually here, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, that would really help. And not to do the promotional side, but so that YouTube knows that we're actually here and providing tons of value, you need to thumbs up and you need to share. And if you share, just let me know in the chat that that's what you did. So the big thing is really, it's not so much in the knowing now, because of course I could give these warnings all the time. Look for a jumping of the broom. Always be very kind of on your best behavior. Maybe it's right here. Be on your best behavior when these apexes come into play. Really be thoughtful. I do know that there was a trader that shared with me that he was able to take the leg, and I don't know what the entire trade actually looked like, but there was enough confidence in the slower trend line to take a trade. So, you know, there's fantastic scalp money in there, but I was also hearing that it was the bottom. And that's when the social channels are really dangerous for everybody. You have to be very thoughtful and considerate of others and not be shouting and not be trying to tell them that it's the bottom, because really no one knows. That's just the reality. I know that I can express concerns about certain patterns, and I always do, but we just don't know. I mean, I was in a lovely conversation talking about, you know, the future, what it might look like, and the cool things that, you know, everybody can do, and sure enough, there that candle came down, and I'm like, okay, well, it looks like we're slipping a little bit, and then it's another, you know, and I'm like, oh dear, I think maybe I should go, you know, on YouTube, and then within a couple of minutes, here in 20 minutes, we've actually seen the trade kind of settle out. But it could actually be building kind of like a pylon would be, you know, that like a bridge is built on, and it's building some force. And that force can either establish the trade to then reverse and go to the upside, or it literally acts like a pile driver. So it collects a lot of energy with these candles over candles like this, the way that it's printing. In the 5 minute, and I understand we can still go back out, look at a big chart to have an idea, but you can't change the reality that it's still happening to you in the 1 minute. And so let me, let's see what I can do about the chart itself to make it a little better. I think you guys get the apex and the build of the triangle, and I can draw one too. So right now I'm kind of looking for anything that I can kind of latch on to that might be meaningful. I might be able to get a high to a Fibonacci low to find out whether or not how bad this is, if it's organized. If it's organized, then we might be able to go over to the RSI. And definitely in the future, you'll be learning a lot more about the RSI and less about Ruby every day. But I would venture to say that there's a lot of RSI readings that are in this move. So we'll do that, and if there's nothing there, we won't keep it. But it's high to low, and we're only looking to see what worked at the 50%. Okay, and we do. We have the power move at the apex that did not survive the 50% line. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I hope you can. So we'll just put a little bit of a marker right here. So we do know that that's a 50% failure right there. And 618 doesn't work. Consolidation, okay, this area of consolidation, that might work, this area right here. We can keep our eye on there. All right, so we'll go ahead and take this Fibonacci up, because that is really the only read line that we get, is that this entire move, that's the 50%. Let's move into the 5-minute. Of course, we know that the 8 is eclipsing the close all the way down, very, very deep. So we know that when the 8 is over the close, that is a short or bearish condition. And of course, we know that it's a full bear because it's been in a ruby bear. We're looking at almost a double bottom, a little bit of a double bottom right here. I don't know if that's enough to hold the trade. We'll go ahead and mark that off. There we go. Looks like we are getting some reaction off of this double bottom. So what we can do now is we'll go ahead and build the Fibonacci from the nearby high over here, over here. And there we are at the 50%. The 14918 survives. It could go into a full advance. Comes back into the pattern here. But that has to survive the 14918. So we'll see. You guys want to wait and see with me. We did this last night with another name, and we'll just kind of see what happens. Did everyone sort of get how I did that? Let me go back over to the Google page and make sure that you guys got that. Okay. All right. So Vivo is in the room. And if you guys saw my Twitter, introduce yourself to Vivo. Vivo is going to be recording me, and then we are going to be working on Spanish translation just to see how much of this can I actually express, and then what is it really, what does it sound like to the Spanish-speaking audience without me sounding, like I'm treating anyone like a child, or, I want to be able to bring the Spanish-speaking community as much of what I know so that they can expand their learning and have some options on different ways of looking at the Bitcoin trade. So today we were talking and the trade started to move, and it's like, dude, I need for you to, do you want to do this? And so he's volunteering just to see. We're just going to see what it's like, and I'll go through a little bit of my introduction. I'm BeautyBubble, and that's pretty much all that you need to know. A lot of my work is on YouTube. I am the founder and the creator of Ruby, the indicator, Ruby. And Ruby is a sequence of EMAs. And we do have some commands inside of the bot here in the live chat that describe what Ruby is. There's been some writings. There are a couple of videos even out there that are in Spanish from the early days of building Ruby. And but that's all that it is. It's actually very early on in your learning. Some people attach themselves to pattern only. Some people do Fibonacci. A lot of people do RSI. But what I was able to bring to the Bitcoin community was a new way of looking at price activity. And she's just a guide. She's a little bit of a signal and a guide. Lets you know when the price is actually changing and going from long to short. But she doesn't call the tops, and she doesn't. And I speak of Ruby in as a she, like a ship. And in listening to me, you're able to then kind of fashion and factor where primary changes in the market are happening, so that you're not just relying on news. You're not just looking at one indicator, because we really do look at a lot of different things. And I encourage everyone to go out and check out some of my recommended links of people that are on YouTube, and there's books that are out there that you can learn about. But it just seemed important for this night. Isn't that something? That this night would be the night where we would bring my view of Bitcoin and the charts in Spanish. So thank you very much to my good friend Vivo Bitcoin in the chat. You can say hello. And for the replay viewers, what we do is we copy the chat, copy as much of the chat as we possibly can, and we make it a copy and put it in the comments, so that any links or anything that I might be talking about, or any of us that have thrown in the chat, actually end up in the comments. Okay, so you're probably wondering, you guys are being very quiet. And let me see who's in the chat. Okay. And let me see, what else can I say? I can just follow, right? Hold your hand and let you know a little bit about what's happening inside of the candle structure. But basically, you guys can see how stubborn this price is being down here. And it's just a matter of whether or not the 50, you can actually see it for yourself, that the 50 is being very stubborn with the Fibonacci. Just, it's trying to make a decision. Are there enough market participants out there that want to get in and carry the trade up? Is it a good enough price? Are they looking for lower prices? All of that. So you will get some peacocking in other trading forums, Bitcoin forums, where they are calling the bottom. I can tell you that they were not right, and I will show you that we had a bottom that came in. The apex moved up. That was all. That's the 50% line of the whole pattern. But we did not know that at the time, but that was the conclusion. And then jumped the broom. I don't know if you guys can actually get that visual. Actually, you know what? I don't like to use this drawing tool, but I will use it just for us. This is what I call jumping the broom. Boom. There you go. That is called jumping the broom, and a complete failure. So we don't know why this continually happens in Bitcoin, but it happened. It does not matter what kind of most triangles, they have a resolution that's a failure. Sometimes it'll jump the room and it'll proceed over here, and then it'll move up. In this case, we jumped. The apex had a great power move, jumped the broom, and then just collapsed in on itself. We already knew that the trade was pretty. The trade was already pretty. Oh, trying to eliminate that. That is not letting me see what I mean about that tool. That tool is a wackadoodle. Let me go to the show objects tree. X, 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 X. There we go. I don't know why that happened. 4 drawings. And there's the 50% right there. The other forms are just kind of crazy. So we will just be very patient. I'm going to sip on my water. I was going to tell you about the straws that I use. Being that there are no questions that are being asked, I can go back through and we can, you know, go through the process one more time. If you guys think that that is useful, happy to do that. I'm sure that the translation is going to be very hard to do to being that I feel like I'm addressing the United Nations right now, and I'm not really too sure what to say except for, okay, chart number 1, okay, buy here. Chart number 2, sell here. So, but we'll see how it works out. I hope that there'll be, even if it's just a couple minutes, and it's not the full, you know, we've been on for 32 minutes. It's not 32 minutes of translation. It might just be a little something that sounds good enough for the Spanish-speaking community that deserves to get great information, and also that anyone else that's out there needs to be encouraged. Get together with someone that can translate for you, so that this community is not, you know, left really poking around the internet looking for charlatans and such to learn from. So I guess there's a lot of charlatans maybe out there that are covering the Bitcoin trade, getting, you know, good quality, and then also that you're encouraged to go elsewhere. You know, if candlesticks are your thing, like, you know, that you're going to people that really know candlesticks. If Ichimoku Cloud ends up being the thing, that you actually find yourself with people that that know a lot and are tenured in this. So, okay, well, good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, that's what all I'm really hoping for, is that maybe that there could just be a little something, and then they can, I don't know, you know, maybe we just figure out a way to bring it to, you know, your audience. Now, who did that? Oh boy. I better, you know what I'm going to do? Let's run on over to TweetDeck, and let me get my TweetDeck up and going so we can kind of see what's going on. And TweetDeck, there we go. Talk a lot about using TweetDeck, and I have 5 columns. 1 named Bitcoin. I do not have anything in the retweet, so all of the tweets are new to the stream. Then BitMEX Rect, which is a Twitter account, and this Twitter account goes into the API and finds out those trades that have been liquidated, and also gives the contract size. So recently, in fact, we'll go when the shorts and when the longs were being liquidated, and let me just go 25 minutes ago. First of all, we'll start here. 20,000 contracts, 135 contracts gone. 78,000 contracts on the short side. Here are the longs coming in, 600, 100. So a lot of activity going on both sides, really. So both sides were taking a risk. Obviously, the longs taking the bigger risk. Here's 100,000 contract size, taking a liquidation hit. So clearly there was no place for the trade to go. We watched the BitMEX, even though we're looking at the Coinbase, because all of the exchanges and their activity, they kind of swap, you know. If one goes down, the other one, it's not like, oh, well, their exchange went down and another exchange is going to go up. No, everyone sort of kind of swims in the same, you know, shark-infested waters. So if something bad happens to one, it's like a family member. All of the exchanges usually have some sort of a follow-through. So the BitMEX Rect is definitely a Twitter account that you want to follow, and it's very easy, right? Liquidated longs, that means that these contracts have been liquidated and those amount of contracts are off the table, and the trade, literally look at it as though it's liquefying a position long. That's the easiest way of me describing. Then I have a cryptocurrency, which is kind of, you know, the same as Bitcoin, but you'll notice that it's just another tag. Insider trading, because that is a big conversation today. It looks like it's sort of kind of dried up a little bit. The same headlines are out there as far as the scandal and insider trading, and in light of the memes that are still out there. And then way over here, just the simple word crypto. So pretty much it's sort of all the same, but by looking at it this way, you get a left to right view. And so your mind is able to kind of accept this information a little easier, because not just one stream of consciousness. It's kind of divided up or parsed up, if that makes sense to you guys. Hope it does. Okay, moving back over to the chart. And I'll check the chat and see how we're doing over there. If the tweet deck worked out. Vivo, hey John Jacob, how are you? I am live. Yes, I am. Did you not think I was live? No? Or did you think, oh, because there's so many people out there that are kind of on a recording? Is that what you're thinking? All right, so go to your channel. And, you've got a great YouTube channel. That's kind of neat. Good for you. Tell me more about it. Okay, so we're gonna, everybody gets to become famous on my channel. Everybody should follow John Jacob. There you go. Let's see here. Okay, so the trade is holding on. Remember, it was resisting the 50. Now it's trying to cross over. The next area, of course, is between the 50 and the 796, and this is where a little bit of energy can be built. Once again, the trade can kind of build some solid foundation, and once again, we're all still looking for where is that reversal bar. Well, no. Okay, good, Vivo. All right, yeah. And if I need to stay on that page, I will a little longer. But I try to show it, you know, every YouTube video to make sure that people have that resource. Let's see what else I can say. We're just really waiting. A lot of the trade is being very patient. John Jacob, did you upvote my channel? Did you want to upvote my channel? That would be fun if you did. Do you know how to upvote? We're trying to make sure that YouTube doesn't forget that I'm here. Oh yeah, okay, got it. Did you hear enough about it, or did you I have to go. Can Evo, if I open up my Telegram, can you tell me if you see anything? Don't think you guys do. I think it comes up in a separate browser window. Oh, you saw my Telegram? You did? It's not on the window though. How did you see my Telegram? John Jacob, how did you see my Telegram window? I'm asking kind of a technical question. Did you see it? Okay, so John Jacob wants to make himself famous. So we're going to make you famous again. And we're going to see the thing that you might not know about me. Okay, well, I think that you want to be famous. That's what I think. So we're going to go ahead and make you famous, okay? There we go. Everybody needs to follow John Jacob. There we go. On Crypto Compare, you posted a link to my video on Crypto Compare. Okay, cool. I don't know where Crypto Compare is. I posted a link into your video on Crypto Compare. Alrighty. Let me see. That's Telegram. And let me make sure if you hear like a lot of banging on the computer, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jon Snow, I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm going to be on mute for just a couple seconds here. More than a couple seconds, like 2 minutes. Over. Okay, guys, no worries. And this will happen from time to time because we really didn't expect that we were going to be getting a move like this and that I would be going live. So there's some ambient noise that's happening on my end, and someone that I needed to contact, and so that's what you'll be seeing back and forth, for just a little bit. Okay, guys, let me catch up with my chat for just a moment. So we have 55 Porter. How are you? I'll be reading your note in just a moment. And 55 Porter. Oh, wow. Got a very active, you have a very active, interesting, lots of subscribers over at your channel. Wow. So welcome to my channel. And thank you for the thumbs up, whoever is helping me out with that. I appreciate it. 55 Porter writes, I picked a fine week to jump into this stuff because of the buzz, not knowing what I'm doing. Bought in the big 3 on Coinbase last Friday. Big mistake. Well, see, I told you there's going to be ambient. Hold on. That's called a blend tech, by the way. This video is sponsored by Blend Tech. We have several, in fact, we have a cookbook that deals with all the cool things that you can do with your own blend tech. But that's what it sounds like. All right, so you picked a fine week to jump into the stuff because of the buzz, not knowing. So let's just do you know, let's do something here that might be kind of interesting to you guys. Take a look at this. And hold on just a moment. Okie dokie. Gee whiz. Is it like Saturday afternoon or something? All right. We went to kind of address 55 Porter. And I want to show you something here. Let me kind of straighten up this line a little bit, though. It doesn't matter. Okay. Don't look at my chart too much because, of course, it has all my markings. I'm not going to be showing you. I'm not going to baby you around. You are going to be seeing a weekly chart, okay? And let's see what you mean by that, okay? All right, don't look at any of this. Please don't. But this is a weekly chart. Every single one of these candles represents a week. Every single one represents a week. So I want you to kind of, we're going to zoom in, and I want you to kind of see, oh, there's that drawing tool again. I do not want that drawing tool. Oh, no, stay in drawing mood. Oh, see, this is why I don't use that brush. I can't stand that tool. I don't want to lock all drawing tools. Okay, let's see if I can do it again. Nope, there it is again. See it? See, it's following me around? That means if I do this, see, I'm going to get it again. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't just mess myself up. I do not like this tool at all. It's really not cool. And I don't really know how to get rid of it. So that messed me up. Right? It's probably going to take me a while to figure this out. You may not even see this because I'm messed up because of that drawing tool right here. This friggin' drawing tool. Sorry, guys. Show objects tree. Look at, and it'll end up being, look, there's three drawing tools on there. X. But it's still, let me get out of here. Oh, it's locking. Look at that. It locked it in. So I need to, it goes lock all drawing tools. Lock all drawing tools. Let me go into Eclipse. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to work. Sorry about that. I didn't expect that was going to happen, but it's locked me into a drawing tool, and I don't like that drawing tool. I don't even know why I wanted to show off with that stupid jump the broom thing. Should not have done that. That's another thing I should put in the trader rules. Don't try and show off. It's stupid. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to show off. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, this is a week worth of a candle. Don't look at all these. These are just Fibonacci swings. They're very easy. Once you see me draw one, you'll get them, okay? And I try to keep them on the chart for as long as I possibly can. And so anyway, it's going to make the chart look very kind of messy. But there are ways, yes, this is the candle that you're involved in right now, okay? And there have been candles like this all throughout the history of Bitcoin. There's never not been a candle that doesn't look like this. So it's not like you are not in good company. It is more radical because there's more volume and there's more activity inside versus when we have these smaller pullbacks and smaller volume etc. So there's a lot of participants that have come in, and it is not going to be gracious to you at all. If you don't know anything about the management or anything like that, then the only thing that you can stand on is, you know, how ballsy you want to be, lots of trade management that you probably need to try and understand, and you, the whole sucker punch of this, now's not the time to then deal with it. If you are in pain, I can tell you this, it doesn't get any better, because more than likely you're in a position that you can't afford. You want to find yourself in position where you're looking at it and you're calm and you're resolute and there's no panic at all, because you can afford, it's a horrible way of looking at it in a way, but you can afford to lose. And I'll go through the disclaimer right now so that you can get a real heads up. You're going to feel sucker punched, because there's just a lot of things that, you know, a lot of things that are to learn about the Bitcoin trade. It is not, and I will repeat, anybody that has said that it's easy, anyone that has said that, you know, just go ahead and climb in and hold on for dear life. Lots of wild things are out there about being involved in cryptocurrency, and it will teach you a fine lesson, and it will teach it to you very swiftly. The high, as we know, the high of the trade on the Bitcoin BTC USD was $19,891.99. And I can do a cap compare so that you can see where it sits in the entire market for all things that are traded under the US economy, everything that's traded, and where we sit with Bitcoin. It's a massive investment that people are making with their time, effort, energy, and money. And here we are at $14,047. So I feel you. I feel you. And there's nothing that I can do to you know, make it better or easy or anything. I cannot believe I'm going to be stuck with these tools. Look at this. I might be able to try and refresh, maybe. I don't know. Look at that. I'm going to be stuck with them. Every single time I move my my mouse, that chart is going to, can we move? I can go back over to the objects tree. There's my fib replacement. Go, okay, X out. Okay, let's see what we do here. All right, I'll go back over to the, I went a little bit too deep. Okay, let me see. Pick define week. Sorry that I couldn't really show you a good chart. That's totally on me, and I'll definitely take your question another time too, when I can figure out what's going on with my chart, so that you can get kind of a feel of, you know, it's not just this week. There's no easy week. There's no fine week at all in Bitcoin. I know that sounds absolutely miserable for me to say, but and look at the trade just falling apart. But if you can remember, and I have a trader rule about you know, position size, and what a lot of people say about it, it can mean that you are too big in position, and that's now I'm not speaking to you personally, but sharing that with the rest of the world, that it could be just because your position size is too overdone. 55 Porter is saying, thankfully I didn't sell the farm or put finances in danger. I just wish I had waited. Bought at 19,400 because it just kept rising. Didn't want to wait too long. Okay, so I'm also going to share another rule. And I don't know what rule this is, because I know that you're being, you know, you're being nice and everything, but I want you to learn something. And you're going to have to learn it the hard way. It is rule number, must be rule number 3. Is it? Hold on, going here. Rule 6. I think it's rule number 3. And I don't know why 5 and 6 look stuck. They look stuck in the Nightbot. It's like all you've been doing is getting rules 5 and 6. So let me run over to my commands. I do use the Nightbot, and it's part of the timers one. And it is rule number 2. Rule number 2. Bruce Fenton talked about this today, and it's not an easy one for me to share with you, but you have to follow it for yourself, okay? Yes, thank you. Vivo knows the rules. Rules number 2. Rule number 2, never disclose your position size or your contract size, ever. Okay? Because you're talking to me. Don't do that. You don't want to tell someone like me that. You don't really want to disclose your position size or your contract size really to anyone ever. I hope that that helps. Okay, so let's go back into the chart and kind of see what's going on. We're going to zoom in, zoom to the boom boom. Going to zoom into the boom boom. I don't like to share this line. I'm sorry that I have to. If you watch my charts, you would have known. And I'm sure that you probably heard the woes and cries and arguments. Are you kidding me, Beauty? There's no way we're going down to 13,129.06. So this has been, I have another number that's lower. I'm kind of afraid to show it to you guys. But if this trade is to go, this is a location. I have 2 locations. I have 2, 13,129.06 and 12,313.37. So on a progressive fib, we knew that the 50% really didn't live out, so we have to take the fib and we will draw it down again, and we will do the same thing, rinse and repeat. We know that this is a no-go right here. That is off the charts. So because we're working the trade right now, we're only keeping those things like the 50% was up here, and now this is a nearby. So 50%, it's the same thing. We could just keep moving it down to keep ourselves busy. I do know a trader that is in a position short from the Ruby Cross right now. So what one does is that you try and manage the trade best that you can. As long as the 8 is eclipsing, I mean the 8 is over the close on the 1 minute plus 20 seconds. Now, the one problem with me showing you Ruby is that she's built on a 60-minute time frame. So even though we can get in here, I'm going to go ahead and take off the Fibonacci. We'll redraw in just a moment. Even though I'm showcasing the 60-minute 8, that's the line right there. The 60-minute 8 is 14,953.57. And the 8 is drawn as a railroad. It's a circle and a line. And that reminds us that that is the 8, and you can see it there. You know, on a 1 minute, can one of these bars actually accumulate? You know, can they congest and congeal in order to be a good place for the bottom? You know, I don't know. I don't know yet. So, best we can do is just keep patient like we were before and watch this trade try and resurrect itself. We saw what was happening interior. I brought the chart out just a little bit in the 1 minute. And we shall see. That is one hell of an atom left there, though. And that speaks of that the trade does have to find its middle, its apex. The trade needs to fall back down to gain a little strength, maybe double bottom, and then push back up again. So this is an atom left in the 1 minute. This is the center or the middle of the W reaching for an apex to then fall back down, double bottom, and then move back up again. You guys follow that? I hope so. Hope so, hope so. you're seeing a lot of red up here, and that's just speaking that Ruby has been short, and Ruby has been short, hella short from way back when. And anyone that's been screaming to go long or anything like that, you need to really watch out for rooms that are doing that. You want to just take a sensible look at things, kind of have a better idea. You know, be gentle on yourself. Okay, and Alan, Nago, hi, how are you? Alan has a great YouTube channel too, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name. I'll just call you Alan. This is Alan's channel. And so we had 55 Porter, now Alan in the room. And let me go over to our own chart. I really suggest, and I say that I call everyone famous, Alan. Encourage for each other to share each other's content, get involved. If the description was deeper, you would see in my other videos that it's really about connecting the dots and making sure that we build a good, a good solid community of people that want to share just a little bit of what they know, a little piece of it. Because this is a no guru environment. I am not the guru. I'm just the one that pressed the big red button. And you could do it too, and maybe serve your community, your people. Just any little little piece of what you understood today. So make sure that you follow each other and you're good to each other that way. The Nightbot, I don't know what's going on with the Nightbot. I don't know what's going on. Thank you very much for the thumbs up, guys. Thank you if you're sharing the video out. We've been streaming for an hour, and just so that you know, the stream is being recorded to be transcribed in Spanish. This is the first time that we've done it. Ruby has been, there are Spanish videos from Spanish-speaking traders that I've known over the years that have done a couple of videos about Ruby. But tonight is very, very special in that Vivo Bitcoin and I, we've known each other maybe a year. Maybe we're coming into a year of knowing each other. Maybe he would know. Here's the follow through from the left shoulder. Like I said, it will seek an apex, and then the right piece of it will come down. We'll see what happens. We'll just stay with it for a little bit, see if that happens. Second candle, third, fourth, one third candle at the shoulder, the other side of the pattern coming in. And we'll just watch it happen. And once again, we're looking for a good right shoulder. Okay, we're looking for a good plant where the bigger time frames, the longer time frames can actually situate themselves so that there's a decent candle reversal, where there's enough information in all of the bars to really present themselves as sturdy enough to carry the trade long. If it doesn't exist, then the trade falls apart again, and so forth and so on, until we come to that true area of the chart where a bottom has been put in place. A lot of traders go long early on moves like this. Traders that have enough room to, they just buy at, at moments in the trade that they think are a good discount, and then they continue just to add to their position at these discounted prices, and then hope to make it back on the upswing. For those of us that have found ourselves at a higher position, you are, there's a lot of pain involved in this. So I hope that, you'll be sturdier next time and maybe more informed next time. So this is where we're at. And as I said, that right shoulder coming in right now. And people are looking at the bigger charts too. Bigger charts. And I have a lot of messages. Wow. Okay. All right. Here's your turn. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, that's weird. It's like Trader Rule 2 got busted up. Not really too sure why that happened. Oh, let's see. 55 Porter, I know. I'm going to, there's our right shoulder pickup. Is it strong enough? Let's hope it is. Let's hope that it is. You can hope against hope. But I'll tell you what, the bots are going to take that. They are going to lap that up. So let's see. Let's see how long they can hold on to it. See, anything below like a major price level, the bots and the algos will register that, and I'm sure the tweet deck is just looking crazy. We'll go to the tweet deck for just a moment, let it load. Oops, sorry, it's not going to load for me. Reload here and see what happens. Okay, so I'm sure the BitMEX rect is going to be a nightmare. Okay, ultra kills, multi kills, triple kills, double kills, wicked sick, godlike, ultras, multis, unstoppable, rampages, monsters. Holy moly. Holy moly. 14102. 14102. I mean, I could call this as an auction, but what has to happen is that 14,000 has got to hold. Preferably, we need to pass over the apex right there at 14,365. So it still has, it has to go beyond that little area there. Here, I'll draw it. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a little teeny tiny W in the mass, in the massive, horrible sinkage. Has to go above there for this thing to not read as a fractal. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, we holding hands? Is everybody okay? 55 Porter, you holding on? Alan, you holding on? How's everybody doing? Do you have a better idea of sort of how to gauge the left shoulder, the W pattern, and now can you kind of visualize what needs to happen to price? Okay, so good. Part of the thing is just to have a narrative around what you're seeing, and you know, that's why ChartChatConnect exists. You know, you just have to have a narrative and slow yourself down, and you know that. I guess I could. You want me to read my disclaimer? I suppose maybe I should. I think maybe that's a good idea. It's going to sound terrible, and probably a couple guys that will leave just because I'm trying to remind you. When I go live, we're in no audio because the stream is to serve as an archive of price action during volatile moves. I should add on, and when I just feel like it, okay? Here's the disclaimer on 3, 2, 1. Please be advised that all content in the charts shown is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures markets can be rewarding, but is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable, but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from any chart shown and its further discussion in other chat rooms or forums may not reflect my opinions at the time. The charts shown in their content is not a solicitation nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities, and/or futures. Currently, I do not have or involved in any affiliate arrangements that may change in the future, especially in 2018. my channel is under review for monetization approval on YouTube. Okay, let's make sure that everybody got that and that Viva was able to record that. So everybody got that? Good. Should I leave it on there for a little bit? Should become a Bible of some sort, any kind of disclaimer. 55 Porter writes, I got into it thinking long-term anyway, good. So I knew there would be ups and downs. I just didn't expect this right away. Okay, yeah. Okay, but you've got a long-range view, right? And when next time you look at a chart, maybe you'll kind of see things a little bit differently, and you'll have a better idea of what you did, why you did it, and where the price is right now. And then, of course, Alan reminding us, yes, the market cap would no doubt be dropping. Yes, everyone being affected. For sure. Let me see. I'm not getting lots of questions, but I am getting a question. So to get a chart to somebody. Where did my channel go? Well, let's see. Okie dokes. And Alan, if you want to copy and paste the market cap number, you can do that. The one from CoinMarketCap or the one from Cap Compare. If you know about that site, it's really a cool site called Cap Compare. All right, so I get people that ask me questions, and so the narrative around this particular short has been very interesting because it has been a pretty volatile short when we really look at it. Let me go ahead and get rid of the disclaimer, and we'll go into a 30-minute, reframe it, and so that you guys know. This is not like a storybook short. There have been a lot of rejections of the short, incredible longs, counter trades, a ton of fractals, failed W patterns, holding of free markets for me, channel pinging and bouncing, triangle patterns, etc., okay? And then, of course, the massive jumping of the broom, and boom, we're done, okay? That's this area right here. And now the question is, well, the short, when do I cover? When do I say enough is enough? If you're asking yourself this question, now is the time to start to lighten up a little bit, because what you're really wondering is, how can I call the bottom? And there are numbers that I have down here that are break potentials. And if this doesn't hold, it's going to go back, it's going to go down. And once again, if 12313 doesn't hold, it's going to continue to go down. Now, at that point, down here, we really have to look at the whole system. I have to go into a much bigger chart. We have to really kind of start to crunch some numbers and see what is down below 12,313, because this is going to change. It's going to change the face of a lot of everything, because the ecosystem, for those that did not know or are not short in the trade and know how to read this, this is a devastation. And here we are at the break. So we'll go into the 1 minute, if you don't mind, so you can see that actually happen in real time. And this is what makes me masterful. Sorry, I am a diva in the space. And it's nice that you guys would stop by and spend time with me. I appreciate it. So remember, this was the top of the W that completely failed. That's not going to happen. And we don't benefit from RSI. I wish that I had Andrew in the room tonight. It's Andrew Cardwell, to give us some instruction as to exactly what's happening down in these lower RSI prints and how to read the bottom. No one in there wants to be known as what we call a catfish. You can get very good at it, and then of course you can get very full of yourself and be very bad. So just calm yourself. Know that you're in a great short. You are in a great short. You can count the wicks down. 9 wicks down is a good measurement. And then anything right now, you just want to make sure that you have, that you definitely cover yourself at each one of these wicks, even in the 1 minute, maybe the 3 minute. And then you can't leave this trade at all. Because any rejection whatsoever, what's going to happen is that it will be a very fast and violent rejection, and then all the work and time that's gone in to this one particular pullback off of the failure of the apex, So here's a good price, the 13,129.06. Keep just moving your stop down if you want. I mean, my number is 12,313. I've been trying to share it with a few people. Sorry for the yelling on the microphone. I'm going to have a sip of my Blendtec smoothie. We're doing something a little different with the world of the smoothie, being that it's the holidays. And creating our own kind of very cool concoctions. Okay, so I hope that helps. I don't know if it is going to, if I answered the question. I always try to be so cryptic, Thank you, Alan. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's much better, and we can see. Wow. There's a lot of screaming going on. So see what I mean? What did I say? What did I say? What did I just say to you? I hope you're listening to me. I hope you're listening to me. I hope you're listening to the woman that provides no value whatsoever. I hope you're listening. Chat room, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to somebody else. But please, come on now. Now you're going to have to go through another bleed down. Oh my gosh. What did I say though? Okay. Where's everybody else hiding in their little rooms? Okay. All right. Anyone else have anything to say or? Pardon me. And with that, I will be on mute for just a couple of moments, okay? Thanks, guys. I just checked my new subscribers. Thank you guys very, very much. I try to go live every single day so that you know if you wanted to be notified, because it's not like on a specific schedule or anything like that. But if the market is moving, I really do my best to come on over to YouTube. Okay, I hope you guys can see that the commentary was that it could wick up and you would lose your cover, and then you would be chasing after and potentially losing all. You're not only losing the profitability of the short, you're losing also the time that your equity was being tied up in the trade. I hope you guys can kind of see that. We'll go ahead and we'll put a marker down here so that when we're looking at the bigger number, and there we go, we're almost at the double top here. So probably on the 15-minute, we might see a better formation, a better, just a simple W formation. But this is exactly what happens in crypto. And now we're broaching the double top. We could get rejection up here because of this apex. that's possible and maybe fall back over and done on itself. But the point that I really want you to understand is that when you have a good chart in front of you and there's a good sturdy line, and you're looking and you're asking yourself these questions, when should I cover? None of us are always right, and a chart, it can only be, good. I can produce great charts, but really, at best, if everyone is kind of honest and on a level playing field, you're just doing, a good job, because no one knows, no one ever knows precisely what is going to happen. So I don't know if that worked out. But that's the biggest thing sometimes, especially when you're in a great short. It's not because you're trying to call the bottom when you cover. So that's like a negative ego play. And then you're trying to be smarter than the market. That's a negative ego play. But the thing that you can never get back is time, because there will be a bottom to the short. We know that it's not going to zero. And so a short can be tailored. And then, but when it's getting into where greed comes in, you really have to manage that part of your brain and just realize that there'll be another trade, another setup. There's, the great short and all that, the big short that's in the movies and all that. Even that took, I think it was like 3 years for that trade to actually develop. And the trade was underwater for quite some time, enough, I think, for people to, get almost crazy in the head. So try to get your ego out of it. Great, a good short is a wonderful experience, and but it can lop your head off, and especially if you just don't if you don't know when enough is enough. Like, okay, I've had enough, and I'm good. So I hope that helps. We'll move into the 3-minute in just a moment, so we could kind of expand the candles out, get a little better idea about that right shoulder. And if that was the end somehow, like I said, I still have a lower number on my chart. And now that we know that the the 13 number has been breached, then remember, it wasn't a tag and a bounce. So I will have to look at that low, go back in the chart, and see if there's any reason why it stopped right there. And there's something on the chart that maybe I missed. And then if I did, then you pick it up and then you put it on the chart. And that's why my charts can look kind of full of information, because it's for me to know. And I understand I'm on YouTube, and there could be criticisms about the charts, but I'm constantly making sure that people know, just have a good chart. Have a good chart of your own. It doesn't have to be my chart. And it's a guru-free zone. I don't come to you guys on YouTube as a guru or a master, or some sort of diva in the trade, because it's so much learning, and it's really about building building. ChartChatConnect was all about putting together traders from all over the world. And tonight's video doesn't have the deep description, but my other videos have the description of how it is that I even started this years and years ago, and now how it's migrated, and the forums have become, I don't know, it's not for me. The original vision is not what it was. And so I'm coming back to YouTube to kind of resurrect the original vision. And I hope that I'm doing a good job. Anything that I can do differently, my DMs are open on Twitter, or you can just blast me out on Twitter yourself if you'd like to. And then I do try to come live at least, if it's not every 24 hours, once every 24 hours, because of the volatility in the market. Obviously, I've been on pretty much every day, but I'm sure that over the holidays there's going to be a day that I will, miss. So this is what is called extreme volatility. So the scalpers are in, they're buying low, and they're taking profit, and they're letting the trade go. And the trade is actually gaining steam from where it was before. So I think maybe what we should do, unless you guys enjoy watching the tick by tick, is that what you want to do? Let me just move it in here so you guys can see. That was this, you notice how it's all flattened out now. So whatever that print was there, 14,348.15. So we missed it by $8 there. Okay, so it's not going to be a perfect, that's the horizontal line right there. Rejection, so we got the double top or the double tap and then fall away. And this could be a fractal move, which is where the trade comes down, gets a little bit more energy, powers back up again. So that's what we could be seeing live, in which case this area down here was indeed the bottom. This is a good wick though. So once again, you pull back when we go up. So let's see if that happens. I'll keep it on the 1 minute if you guys enjoy that. And then how long have I been online? 2 hours now. Let's see. Okay, and I'll be back on mute. Okay, guys, I think that that's probably it for me. We're going to try and get this in the can. Thank you very much. Usually I say yo, yo, yo to the go, go, go. Have a great chart in front of you. Just remember there's a lot to learn. I hope that I can bring you guys tons of value. Any improvements, as I said in the chat, any improvements whatsoever that you see that the channel can kind of adopt in order to bring you tons of value, I'm absolutely open to it. Please write me, put me out on blast on Twitter. My Twitter is @BeautyBubble, and when we go into archive, the description area will have lots more for you to read and be see see more about the story and all of that, and what brings me back to bringing you Bitcoin moving. This has been Beauty Bubble. Thank you so much to 55 Porter. Thank you very much to Alan. Thank you very much to Vivo Bitcoin, and I think James. Who else was here? I'm going to say his name was JJ. Hold on just a moment. I think I'm pretty sure. John Jacob. A great, great YouTube name. We do save the chat into a little package. You know, I do my best anyway, whatever YouTube allows for me to go back and scroll. We save it, I put it in Google+, I put it in a link, and then it goes and it's made part of the comment section down below when we're over. So bye guys.